Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to cover a pretty serious situation today. It is going to be the replacement of female Rover's CNVA. And this is a situation that we've actually covered in the past before, just a couple of days ago, actually, where Rover's VA was actually exposed to be doxing Wuthering Waves players. And it turns out that there's a lot more to this situation, a lot more glue, a lot of tabs that you see open up at the top of my screen right now, because this is some additional evidence, just some additional takes that have been compiled over time. So let's just go ahead, let's get ourselves started off by reading this translated announcement down here. And don't worry, there's been plenty of people double checking and, verifying the translations. We even got Mr. Pokey jumping in. Of course, when Wuthering Waves has anything going on, he's dying at the opportunity to get a piece in. So let's go ahead, let's read it out. Dear Rover, after the decision of the project team, we will replace the Chinese voice actor of the character Drifter, which is just Rover, in the subsequent version. Regarding the existing voice content, we will arrange a team to re-record it according to schedule. Please pay attention to the subsequent version update announcement for relevant information and the progress of voice implementation. Thank you all for your continued support and your understanding of Wuthering Waves. So, yeah, very, very, very fast response time from the devs. And that kind of response time isn't too crazy at all when you factor in a couple of very simple things. This issue with female Rover's VA blew up like crazy. If you guys are actually familiar with Tieba is basically the Chinese form of Reddit for games, and posts regarding female Rover's VA and the shady things that they've been up to, the doxing that they did of Wuwa players, it reached number 3 and number 8 in 2 separate threads on that forum. So basically, front and center, very little competition in terms of what people are talking about when it comes to drama in the gaming space. And so you can clearly see a lot of people weren't very happy with this. And so I've actually got a bit of a rundown from Machor, who's actually one of my viewers, and they're fluent in Chinese. They know a lot about the language, and they basically just gave this summary over here to clearly explain everything that's happened and why it was able to reach these spots. So let's give this a bit of a read. As a native Chinese speaker, I figured I can provide some glue. Some time ago, she baited Wuwa fans multiple times about hinting to stream Wuthering Waves, but ended up streaming something else, causing Hoyo fans to make fun of Wuthering Waves fans in the comments and also start a war where XJJ members, who you're all pretty familiar with them by now, but if you're not, just keep in mind that XJJ is basically an e-terrorist group in China that the Arknights developers and Arknights players actually rallied together to get the leaders arrested of. Yes, it's an e-terrorist group that Hypergriff and Arknights worked with the authorities with to get their leaders arrested. Yes, that is literally something that occurred. And so this is what we mean when we say XJJ is like real. XJJ is like actually like an actual group of people that go around, dox people, do illegal things, and actually commit crimes. And this is the thing. That's the association that female Rover has made. So you can kind of see where a lot of the upsetness is coming from over here. She also only deleted popular comments from Wuthering Waves fans and allowed Hoyoverse fans to attack people and keep their comments remaining. The comment war ended up in some horrible doxing and blackmailing. So essentially, right, female Rover's VA would have a war in their comments section because they're intentionally rage baiting Wuthering Waves fans with their conduct online. Hoyo shows are coming in, celebrating that sort of behavior. And then when Wuthering Waves players are responding to Hoyo shows, in CN, this creator, this VA, Guinong, she's going ahead deleting the Wuwa players' comments, leaving the Hoyo show ones up, and the XJJ members, the Hoyo shows in her comment section are doxing people, and she's leaving those comments up. So you can kind of see over here why the association is being made. You can kind of see over here why people are so upset. And you probably are able to see now why her ass got fired. After the doxing and blackmailing of XJJ members, she realized this has gone too far. And to protect herself, she posted, "Stop." But XJJ members obviously aren't really going to listen to her. And so they continue to attack to no ends. And this is the thing, right? She could have just deleted their comments, banned them, right? But I guess she only wanted to delete Wuwa's players' comments and just politely ask the XJJ members to stop instead of taking any administrative action with them. Very, very, very confusing situation going on over here. Seems like it was fully preventable, but let's keep reading. She later on got fully exposed regarding her involvement with XJJ, the e-terrorist group, showing up on her feed. That only shows up if she follows XJJ members. So she went ahead, let them do whatever they want in her comment section after she intentionally rage baits the Wuwa community, and then afterwards it's shown that she's publicly following prominent XJJ members. Awesome. As well as a series of poorly covered up tracks, XJJ was declared by CCP, the Sichuan Province Police Department, as one of the internet criminal organizations. And this is what that is referencing to over here. The whole Hypergriff, Arknights, that whole debacle. So that's just, once again, why I'm saying the guy who translated this knows their stuff. And they were involved in doxing, blackmailing, comment flooding, false reporting, false information spreading, targeted attack, cult organizing, etc. And arrests were made years ago, even though XJJ did a bad job of denying it, and it's pretty clear by now that they're composed of extremist Hoyoverse fans. XJJ, ladies and gentlemen, is also the same organization that mass reported Wuthering Waves and got its age rating increased to 16+, and then began that whole round of censorship with Cantarella and Fleur de Lis. So that's just another notch on their board over there. And so this is sort of like the final take for Maychor over here, given their background, their knowledge. Kuro Games is not going to get involved with anyone that has involvement with internet crimes. This fast response in her firing is to be expected. And yes, now we can see that Kuro Games is doing all of that other stuff, you know, doing the background work and replacing everything that's going on. So that's basically the rundown of the situation. You can probably see over here, couple of loose threads, but it is pretty much, you know, there's clearly been enough actions taken that enough negative press has been made. And the funny thing is, ladies and gentlemen, that was all the context that was available over here, but you've still got individuals that are willing to spread misinformation regarding the matter. You have a VA that went ahead and doxed players, or allowed the doxing, or basically facilitated the doxing. They're an accessory. It's still a crime. They facilitated the doxing of players, Wuwa players, a game that they're employed by. And then we have some individuals in the Hoyo Shill space that are looking to spread some misinfo.
Wuwa community drama's wild. VA hinted they'd be playing the MC, but it was just Minecraft. Did it again, and when she said, I'm gonna play a game where I voiced a female MC, it ended up being a Wuja game instead of Wuwa.
And now they're saying that Wuthering Waves players got triggered and went after her, but in reality, they got doxed. And ladies and gentlemen, if this crackpot theory was actually true, then, well, why the hell would she be fired then, if it really was everybody just doing it to themselves? So, yeah, you can sort of see over here the narratives have already spread. People are probably going to say that Wuthering Waves Kuro Games wrongfully fired their CNVA, and, you know, it was all just being done as, like, some sort of, like, toxic response from the community. But as you can clearly see, right, that's not really the case. And you can see even further how that's not really the case because of some of the other stuff that's going on. Wuthering Waves players in China, after hearing the news that Rover's VA got fired, they're literally celebrating. That person just bought the biggest Astrite package from the store. They're all sending photos of them topping up. They're all sending photos of them spending hundreds of dollars on the game after hearing the news that CN Rover's female VA got fucking fired. I'm gonna be real here. That's kind of hilarious. And the thing is that the firing news literally happened this morning. This was all compiled this morning. There's probably more photos, more threads, more of this actually occurring as we speak. So you can clearly see over here, the community felt a very, very strong sort of way. And this is the other thing, right? And sorry if I'm like jumping around a little bit. There's a lot of links, as you can see up here. Some people even have like live videos of them doing the top-ups with like the announcement showing up in like the middle of their screen recording as well. So it's just ridiculous, right? And I feel like a significant part of this, right? A significant reason for why there's sort of like this overwhelmingly positive community response is the fact that Kuro Games acted so quickly. they acted so fast in terms of like identifying what the problem was and then taking decisive action. Absolutely unlike the shenanigans that have been occurring in the voice acting space very recently. I'm pretty sure the conduct of Genshin's VAs, specifically their English VAs, is still top of mind for a lot of people, right? Where a lot of them were just not showing up to work, intentionally sabotaging the game, doing all of this, this shit that was just absolutely despicable when you look back on it, striking for basically no fucking reason. And, well, they were just employed for years, right? For months after when they should have been fired. And so people are likely thinking about the very delayed, very, slow response by Hoyo in those past situations. And to see Wuwa just come in, not even give it a day. Like, literally, this was a day ago. I covered it on the English side. They didn't even give it a day. And it's already resolved with a neat little bow on top. Easiest thing about all of this is that the official Wuthering Waves subreddit is actually allowing discussion on the matter. Yes, the subreddit that's basically going ahead and censoring pretty much any discussion about the game that isn't doom posting Wuwa. Well, they're actually allowing it on the subreddit. And there's somebody that called out the mods over here. The mod team on this subreddit not allowing any type of news or discussion on the matter before the official firing about this situation is so disgusting. And they should consider changing the policy. And of course, we have the only mod on duty explaining desperately why they're so bad at moderating the subreddit. They decided to go ahead and individually respond to a comment 10 times instead of just making an official post about how bad they are at their fucking jobs. I'm just gonna be real here. It's a little ridiculous. So, yeah, we'll just give another public shout out to the most incapable mod team in gacha history. Once again, because, yeah, this is just embarrassing behavior. I'm just gonna be real here. Can you just, like, do your... Just do your jobs, please. It's not like do your jobs or quit. It's just do your jobs or quit. It's that easy. You're like towing the line where you don't want to do anything, but you also don't want to quit. And I'm just going to be real here. It's pathetic. It's like I'm watching somebody have a nervous breakdown because they can't decide what flavor of jam they want to put on their fucking toast. It's legitimate. This is just disgusting behavior. And this is the reason why they denied that post initially. But then they're allowing it now. They're so bad at their job, it's crazy. They're so bad at their job, it's crazy. And once again, of course, we're hiding behind the official account instead of using our username because, of course, we can't take accountability still. We still need to dodge accountability because we know we're making stupid-ass dog shit decisions. Awesome. And when it comes to the r/GachaGaming subreddit, ladies and gentlemen, well... this post has already been locked. It got posted 8 hours ago, and I think the main reason why it's been locked is because people are actually in support of Kuro games over in the comments. This is clearly the r/HoyoGaming subreddit, right? The mods are clearly Hoyoverse favored. And they're probably not very happy to see that all of the top comments over here are essentially calling out cringe-ass behavior from the BA and saying that Kuro Games is pretty much justified in the decision that they're making over here. And so they're even like censoring evidence that people are posting in the comments. And of course, right, this makes Kuro Games look too good because they're showing the actual doxing that the VA is doing. They're showing all the evidence. So, of course, you gotta lock the thread, censor the discussion, because, of course, right? Can't be posting stuff that makes Kuro Games look good. Yeah, that's the update on the gacha subreddit's point of view on these matters. As you can see, a bunch of bullshit. However, there's been a response by the voice actor. So let's go ahead and read it. An update from the voice actor. I leave it up to everyone's discretion what they think. Let's give it a bit of a look. A brief explanation for everyone. A clearer video will be available later. Oh, looks like she's turning into a 2x tacit field. On the night of September 5th, I posted an update, and shortly after, I was subject to severe cyberbullying and doxing. At 12:30 a.m., my phone was bombarded with a massive number of SMS verification codes. I immediately reported to the police and contacted a lawyer. However, the law firm could only proceed with the paperwork today, so it's only now I've officially commissioned the lawyer to take legal action. I haven't slept well these past 2 nights, constantly collecting materials for the lawsuit. I didn't speak up publicly because the more I say, the more trouble it could bring, especially if I have to release any footage. From From beginning to end, I have never incited cyber violence. On the contrary, I am the one whose personal information was exposed and attacked. Early this morning, I rushed to the law firm for an emergency meeting, just signed the legal documents to entrust the lawyer with the lawsuit, and was about to go home to make a clearer video when I was suddenly informed of the saddening piece of news, aka her getting fired. That's the saddening news. Anyways, this situation is far more complicated than I imagined. We are still working on verifying the truth behind it. Please give me some time and ask for those who are willing to trust me to wait a bit longer. Just a bit longer. Sorry, I lost my composure there for a second. Yeah, so you can clearly see in here, this is one of the most vague explanations I think anyone's ever heard before. Like, I read this and like, I already know that she got fired, but like, we're even being vague about that. Like, you just look at this entire thing and it's like, okay, so like, what happened? Like, this is the only thing, is that actually, I'm the one that got doxxed. And then you have no more knowledge about anything else that's going on. And sure, right? Naturally, you can say, oh, there's like legal discussions going on. It's like, you're not supposed to make this stuff public. But it's also like, a response like this is so uninformative and inconclusive. It's basically just like playing the world's smallest Uno reverse card, providing nothing else, and then leaving. Actually, I'm the one under attack. And then you just dip. Like, I'm just gonna be real here. I don't think that this is gonna particularly help. And you want to know the craziest part about this entire situation? Is that I think she's fucked. I think she's in some really, really, really hot water. And one of the reasons for that is quite simple. You guys remember this whole Arknight situation that we just covered? It's almost the 2-year anniversary of this one. You guys know that Hypergriff was actually the team responsible, or one of the companies responsible for making this sort of like, you know, these arrests happen. You want to know what game Guinong, this VA that just got fired, is about to voice in? Arknight's Enfield. She is, I believe, the main character, the main voicing character for Arknight's Enfield, the protagonist. Kind of like Wuthering Waves, right? Oh, looks like it's another game she can't make jokes about playing the MC for. Ah, shit. Looks like she can't make that joke about Woo-Wah anymore, and I'm just imagining, probably isn't going to be able to make that joke about Arknight's Enfield anymore. So let me just double check and verify that. Oh, some people said they sound like? Okay. They only sound like Guinong. It's just they haven't officially announced it yet. That's the main thing. She's in it? She's in it? Wait, Major, do you have the, do you have a link that shows that? I just want to verify it. I know like 10 people have said it, but it's just, it's hard to find the links in EN. Ah, here we go. Additional glue regarding that whole Arknight situation. It turns out that I don't think we were right about the MC, but she does have plenty of voice roles within the Arknights franchise as a whole. So, yeah, probably making your affiliation with XJJ has, or is probably going to lead to, well, another lost job, because I'm pretty sure that Hypergriff, especially given their past history with that organization, is not going to be very happy to hear about the associations that are coming up right now. And the funny thing about this website is that it almost actually looks like she's been taken out of Wuthering Waves immediately. Like, it looks like she's already been taken out, because you can see some of the other roles that she's been playing, like the Honkai Impact 3, all of that. It's like all there. She might only be employed by Hoyoverse by the end of the year. Who knows? Maybe Hoyo's gonna decide to cut ties with her as well. And I think the craziest thing about this entire situation is that when you look at like her track record, guys, like, she's not like a little VA, right? She's not like some nobody that took on like 1 or 2 roles and then, you know, kind of like popped off a little bit. She voices a lot of characters. Let's just read some of them out. Chen Hai from Azure Lane, Shinobu Kocho, the Butterfly Lady from Demon Slayer, Kokomi from Genshin Impact, we all know about that one, Thelema from HI3, Honkai Impact 3rd, Asta from Honkai Star Rail, Honor of King's characters, Reverse 99, I don't really know about these ones, and then of course, Rover and Wuthering Waves. So, guys, she had quite, or will have had quite a significant track record in the voice acting space for all of these games. And it's crazy to see how much she's been willing to throw away for some good boy internet points with the most deranged parts of the community. This is who we decided we were going to put all of our, we decided to put all of our eggs into the XJJ basket because, well, they're a big group, right? Got us some free followers on Bilibili, got us some free followers on social media. And so we decided to promote, have fun with their behavior, let them dox people in our comment section. And now that we got caught, we're hearing all the different explanations for why it's actually not our fault, for why it's actually somebody else. Yeah. That's rough. That's rough. So, yeah, that's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, Wuthering Waves players are effectively just going ahead and dancing all over her grave. And I think the thing is that XJJ has made itself prominently known. There's a reason why they're actually identified by police departments as an e-terrorist group. And I think that this is really going to be, this is a very serious situation over in China, right? And I do believe that this could go ahead and potentially lead to even more exposés, right? Who knows if there are other individuals in the CN voice acting space who have similar sort of associations, right? Because this all occurred because Gui Nong, this individual over here, right, is a content creator. And in their pursuit for clout, in their pursuit to increase their subscriber count, to increase their social media presence, they leveraged a toxic community of Hoyoverse players, bended to their will, whatever you want to call it, promoted their behavior so that they could get a bigger online presence. Is it so surprising to think at all that there are maybe more VAs who have done similar things, conducted their social media presence in a similar sort of way? Because I'm just gonna be honest, if she was able to get a 600k subs, over 1 million active subscribers taking on this sort of action, I mean, I'm gonna be real here. Doesn't it make sense that there are more people doing a similar sort of thing behind the scenes? So, yeah, we'll just have to see how the situation develops further. I personally think that this is going to be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to, this very sort of odd, weird, shady community conduct. And, yeah, probably only the start of some very, very crazy beginnings because, yeah, Hoyo shills are absolutely insane, brother. And we're getting to see all of it firsthand. So, yeah, that'll be that for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all thought about Turtle Mother, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.